Well, just
Morning.
just you and me here today there, Nicole Bernard, and might be a little bit like a funeral.
Yeah, sorry. And I read that wrong. I was like, oh, I got so excited for a second for you. And then, yeah.
Then yeah, that's exactly it. So typically I will get on the old noggin in the morning and send Nicole a message, and I don't know what just how my morning kind of got away from me preparing for the show last minute. Just sometimes how minutes get away, right?
Yeah, pretty quickly, actually.
Yes. And today was one of those. Actually, it seems like yesterday at the end of the day, and then this morning it all just blended into, okay, right, I'm back doing this thing again. So, which is funny. So then when I got your message, which was morning, congrats on last night's win, I was walking towards the coffee machine and I was like, no.
At least it woke you up.
It totally did. Yeah, it absolutely did. Yeah, it was a bummer.
You went to the game, right?
I did go to the game. Yeah. I frantically oh man, I'm such a nerd. I'm really, but I love it. I will admit I'm a self-admitted nerd, but I'm a self-admitted creator nerd. I was so wanting to try to create something started last night, and well, you know what? The hell with it. I think I'm just going to go with it. So I'm going to get this here. I'm hoping here in the next number of minutes that this will make its appearance on the old program here, that I created some video last night of the whole moment. Yeah, it was disappointing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's how it works. That's how sport works, though, right?
Yeah, it's true. You win some, you lose some.
That's yeah. Is that well? We talked about it with C Marty Fit a couple weeks, like last week, I guess. This whole idea of rewarding people for bronze and silver.
Right.
You're not a fan of that, are you?
No.
No. Do you teach your kids that?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. I mean, it's hard especially when they're younger. Just breaking it to them that you can't always win, and you don't just always get an award just for showing up, I mean, you actually have to put the work in,
You and Benton feel the same way about that? Like there's no, you guys feel pretty strong that, and when you guys play games with them, do you compete with them or do you let them win?
Oh no, we compete. Yeah. So Benton played soccer his whole life as well. He didn't play he didn't go into college, but he played competitively as well. So we're kind of cut from the same cloth.
Well, that's good. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Our game nights are fun, but competitive.
Okay. Yeah. I wonder how many families are like that.
I don't know.
Like when you talk to their families, do you think they're pretty competitive, or do you think families just get used to letting people just have it, letting their kids have it?
Or is there well, I don't know. I mean, I think we kind of attract similar families, so all of our friends, kick their kids' ass too. So.
Yeah. We're here to compete. Exactly. Yeah. It's a little different show today. We don't have a guest today. You and me going to converse, which is fantastic.
It's been a while.
You know what? I was looking at the calendar. We've had so many guests over the last little while that it's been hard time for you and I just to catch up, Keith and Nicole. So I'm excited about that. So you saw the topic, what if Wednesdays?
Yeah, I did see that just now. Going across the screen.
Yes. So I named it that for a reason. I didn't think that we had enough time really. So obviously we had Steve Hulford in the lab last week.
Yeah.
The guy from Underknown. And he's got that fantastic channel, What If. I didn't think we had really enough time to ponder, frankly, and just even converse over some of the topics that are presented on that show. Because I think it's fun. I think it's entertaining. It serves our purpose in the morning. I think it serves a dialogue. Because what it also does too, Nicole, is, our purpose here is to help people wake up, be accountable, entertain, inform. When you ask yourself as a business leader, what if? let me ask you, do enough business leaders ask themselves, what if? And I will throw on the table that probably not enough do. And maybe if we weave this into a weekly conversation, it creates that awareness every single week, which is, hey, business leader, like, what if this happened or didn't happen?
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yeah, definitely. I like it.
Because I don't think people think much about, what if something happened? We
Right.
we take things for granted.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for sure. But we're so busy doing so many things, it's hard to kind of step back and think about like what if, please.
I will confess that I would say that I would probably weave this topic maybe into my life personally, because right now Carter's going through a big decision. He's
Yeah.
considering whether he goes to play hockey up the road here, let's call it an hour west, and change high schools, graduated a different high school, maybe pursue a
Oh.
different path that he would pursue at this current high school. So he had a fact-finding meeting last week with his current school, and he got some what if scenarios played out in his head. And as he continues to fact find, I'm teaching him to ask, well, what if, right? Because that's really, I said to him, Carter, any great leader, as you're going up the mountain, is going to ask themselves, well, what if this happened, or what if this happened? And then, because I think that's what sets. If you take a lineup of 10 people, I don't know if everybody's thinking that same way.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Is he a senior or a junior?
So that would be so grade. He's a grade 11, so going to grade 12. Yeah, so he's going into his senior year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. That's exciting. But yeah, no, I love that analogy and teaching him that.
Yeah, because I think that it's too easy to not think of what if.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I guess what got me thinking about too, Nicole. So that's why this kind of perhaps made it my theme today. Had a great conversation with Terry Alfossum yesterday on Live in the Lab.
Yeah.
Adventurer, reality star, like reality TV star so he won a survival TV show. And he's the kind of, and he did really well with direct sales, but certainly a leader who I can see asks himself along the way, what if, on many different scenarios. And when you're trying to win these games, like our friend Lori Wilcox is trying to win, she's still in the show from Survivor.
Oh, Liz?
Liz,
yes, she is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she is. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they went to the merge where all the tribes go together. I'm still like relearning what Survivor is all about, but yeah, it comes on tonight, so she's still in there.
That's that's been a highly viewed episode for us, having Liz Wilcox on the show. That was
sweet.
That's really cool. That's really cool. But my point is that when they're playing that game, they're constantly asking themselves, what if?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. Speaking of, Terry Alfossum revealed to me. So Nicole, he was big Boy Scouts guy. Like his brand is around the Boy Scouts brand. He's like, I'm a Boy Scout. He's America's Boy Scout, proud of it, right? And really, really awesome human being. You want to talk personal brand? This guy is, a couple years older than I am. And I only lay that out there because he embodies this idea of oops, I'm all excited here. Spilling my coffee on my. Oh, you know what's great? Hold on. Yeah. No, you know what? I'll just do this here. Oh, Terry Fossum, if you're tuning in, I told him to tune in today. If you're tuning in, I'm getting excited talking about you. He embodies the personal brand because he certainly stands out on paper. Like the guy has been an adventurer, been a business leader. And we talked about his different chapters in life. So always asking the question, what if?
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah, I love that. I have I don't know if it's a similar way to look at it, but again, I don't know. My kind of perspective of that happened after my dad passed away. Like he passed away like 9 days after we found out the cancer had come back. So
Oh.
anytime there's like a big thing, I'm like, well, what if I don't do? Like, I don't know. I've always been like, if I had to do something, if I only knew I had like a little bit of time left, what would I do? Like, what if? What are the options? So I don't know. That's kind of similar but different. I don't know.
No, I think it is a very different point of view, and it's a very so the way that I guess I was presenting it this way is looking at it from a like in a negative scenario, and you're looking at it as, okay, when and if the negative scenario happens, what am I missing out if I don't do something about it? I like that a lot.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you've experienced loss.
Mm-hmm.
I've been yeah. So my parents are aging too, right? And they're on a trip right now. You wonder when those moments are going to happen, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it makes you look at things a little different, and I was blessed to, it's the natural progression of life, but it still
Well, that's
sucks.
just it. Yes.
So,
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Yeah, 100%. Okay, we have accountability check-in. I'm going to so the creator spotlight today is probably so I asked myself, does this person want the creator spotlight shined on them, or is their whole purpose on LinkedIn not to have the creator spotlight shined on them? But then again, they're creating content on LinkedIn, and I can see they're trying to sell a course and they're trying to do some really cool things, which I respect. So I thought, no, I think we should shine a light on them because they're doing different things, and I think we like different things, right? So we're gonna.
Different.
Yes. Yeah, I think. Yeah, 100%.
That made me laugh when I said it.
What's it? It's different, nice compliments, different parts of the planet, right? Yeah. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna slowly, introduce a clip to the show, which is going to be the C. Marty fit tip. Yes.
He makes me laugh. Like, he's awesome.
He really is. He absolutely is.
He is.
He sent me a sample piece yesterday, so I just whipped it quickly up last night. This morning, I think I might have did it. So we'll throw it here on the show, and we'll just kind of throw it up, and I'll show you what we're thinking. Because then I think it's just going to be a nice thing that can weave into the show every single day, get people thinking about just fitness and improvements to VO2 max, motivation, accountability, just the stuff that Christopher and C. Marty Fit does well, right?
Awesome.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, we'll do the what if. I got some topics of the day that I want to talk about too, Nicole Bernard. So social media platforms. So creators certainly are becoming an audience of ours that we're advocating for and becoming a big part of. So social media platforms that make the most money for creators, we can talk. I want to talk about that a little bit today. I also want to talk about something that is fascinating to me. We have some time. AI chatbots are taking over customer service, but most of us would rather wait for a human.
Yeah. I do that. Like anytime I have to chat, I'm like, man, hi Bob, the AI agent. Can you give me a real human? Like it's fine. Like if it's like a entry level question, but usually you're getting on chat for something a little more, in depth. But
I want to ask the business question. Like, is there an obvious business opportunity staring at us? Obviously a rhetorical question. When you look at this, like, are enough companies? Like, is there a company out there going, okay, well, wait a minute, I'm going to go offer a premium human service because people are willing to pay for it? I don't know. So I'll throw it to you to consider. We're bringing that up. Or, so I'll ask you, would you be willing to pay? Don't answer the question right now. But if you had to make a micro payment, like $1, let's just call it $1.
Right. To talk to a human, I'd pay $1.
All right. So no. Okay. So let's find out what the barrier is, and then we maybe what we can do. Here's an idea for us. this could be like a topic of the day, right? So, how much would you pay? We'll take a segment. I'm creating on the air with you right now, Bernard. We're going to take this segment coming up a little bit later. So AI chatbots, it's something I found in Fast Company. AI chatbots taking over customer service, but most of us would rather wait for a human. If we had to pay for that, Nicole, how much would we pay? Is it $1, $2, $5? What's your threshold?
Right.
If it was $10, would you still do it? Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. It harkens back to the days of like the 1-900 phone lines or the 1-800 phone
Like
lines.
the girls.
Well, not yes, the girls. That's where they got their they the phone lines. That's where the phone lines got there. Man, those things were marketed on
Yeah.
like
They must
those.
have made a lot of money if I had to guess. I don't know.
Oh, I gotta think that they did as well. Yeah, absolutely. But they were also information lines. I know that because I looked at some those information because they were pay for play. So any kind of 1-900 number was attached to like a pay for play, and not always pay for play in a adult pay for play way, but a pay to get $1 worth of information or $2 worth of information because you can monetize it with the old phone or back in the olden days, right? So maybe is this the same thing? I don't know. So it makes me curious how much somebody would pay to get information instead of getting it from a chatbot. And then at what point, Nicole, does the chatbot oh yeah, there's a little bit of squeaky voice from the late night again. Better than last Wednesday though. Last Wednesday was train wreck. The better yet, does when the AI chatbots get so good at being human-like in this experience, do we even notice? And I bring it up because this platform Synthesia, which I'll show it to you a little bit later, is AI platform I played with before. Their most latest version of avatars, like their digital humans, like you and I, they now have emotions, so anger, excitement, laughter. Whereas yesterday they were unable to represent any emotion. Well, they now represent an emotion. So it's kind of, and you keep thinking this is the worst version of what they're going to look like. What's the threshold somebody pays for a real human, and then how are they convinced that they're not?
Right, it's true. No, it used to be like super obvious when it was a bot.
I think so, right? I think it was pretty obvious. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so then why don't we do this? Let's go. Why don't you go grab a coffee, refresh your coffee? I'm going to set up the accountability check in, and because it really serves up the conversation of around the creator spotlight. You have a coffee there? Do you want to break for coffee? So why don't we do this? Why don't we do the accountability spotlight and then we'll go get a coffee? How's that sound?
Okay.
Let's do that. So let me just ring up. Where did it go though? Well, I'm still trying to figure this out. Okay, here we go. Yeah. All right. So the idea, Nicole Bernard, of rejections. Yeah. Are they the end of the road or are they detours?
Yeah, I think they're just detours, huh?
Yeah. They're not just the end of the road. They aren't. I'm sorry. They're not the end of the road. They're just a detour. That's why, we have to, I think. So I think this is I think what I'm going to say next is hard sometimes for people to recognize that it's okay to miss out sometimes.
Yeah.
Like put FOMO aside, and not even FOMO, but recognize that you're not going to get it. You're not going to win it. You're going to strive for something. You're going to attempt to something, and you're not going to win it. Like my hockey team last night.
Yeah.
Right. There's the perspective, right? You're not always going to get the gig. but you
Yeah.
got to go for it anyways. Like the odds of that team winning last night weren't very high. Let's be frank.
Yeah.
But they had to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I throw these on the table, Nicole Bernard. Perspective. Each no is a lesson. And
Mm-hmm.
what you did with your last rejection, what did it teach you? Right. So when you're busting your ass at, on your next sales call, or you're working through your next rep, or your next, improvement on your mile when you're running, or so forth. What did the last, not failure, feedback teach you? The last rejection, what did it teach you? Right? The
Yeah.
resilience to build strength.
Yeah. That's your character.
Doesn't it? It absolutely
Yeah.
builds character. Yeah.
And then when you actually do hit your goals eventually, because you will, like, it's that much better because you know what it feels like to not, you know?
Do we always hit our goals?
I mean, I do. I'm just kidding.
No, but
No, but they change. I mean, I feel like if, sometimes they do change along the way.
yes, yes, and I think that not. I think as we uh, is it as we age and we look at things with different perspective, is that where we recognize how to accept those adoption of the goals? Or is it, and maybe that's what it is, Nicole, because is that because over time you've gained perspective? We've
Mm-hmm.
talked about that, right? Each no you've learned along the way, you've
Mm-hmm.
adjusted your goal so that you can still, gain that one as you've learned. You've gained resilience, right? Which just builds
Mm-hmm.
your strength, your power.
Yeah.
I bet you that you enjoy striving for your goals more than ever, because I'm going to bet that you now recognize that going for your goals is really about the journey along the way, not always just ending it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so much happens in that middle part, between like setting it and hitting it, if you hit it or not, or they change, or you change directions. Like that's where
Yes.
all the stuff happens.
You love that about endurance, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess that is why I got into that, like to the running, kind of, because yeah, I've never been a runner before. I've always been a soccer player.
Yeah, but you transition to running, but it seems like it's so, and that happened after parents passed, right? You started
Hmm.
doing it, right? So it became a mental thing for you, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was a way for me to grieve. Yeah, for sure. And to keep moving because I wasn't really, we had just lost the farm, then we lost my dad, then we lost my mom like a year later. So it was a pretty compact time in my life. And so that was one way I was able to just kind of keep moving, even though I didn't really know where we were going.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. So the perspective, that goes along with, kind of life's process, right? So,
yeah.
um, when we go back to, this idea of rejections, and I'm trying to weave this, back from, unfortunately, family loss. I guess it's just this idea of, as you're going through the journey, it's learning that there's going to be the dips and the valleys, right? And
Yeah.
it's cherishing the journey, because
Yeah.
and you brought it up earlier when you said, you know what if I didn't get a chance to do this with my mom or my dad or my kids or my husband, and that's about the perspective you've gained, the resilience you've gained, and you're reflective of cherishing the journey along the way. You're like, okay, I got to capture this moment, because what if I don't?
Yep. For sure. Yep. And it goes fast. That was my other like big thing, like, and a lot of things that we tend to worry about, maybe they seem huge in the moment for sure. I still get like that, but then, if you take a second, kind of look at it, it's like, oh, okay, it might not be as big. There's other things that can be bigger or worse. And so, yeah.
It's true. It's very true. Uh, here's how I've turned rejections, I guess, or we'll call them rejections. We'll call rejections. And here's how I turn rejections into personal wins. Reflecting. I take a lot of time to reflect along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I and try to use inspiration using my story. I think if you can share our stories, it's another human's nudge out of their comfort zone, by sharing our own story, sharing our narrative, and being uh and being comfortable with that, being comfortable with what you're. I had a oh man, I guess why I paused, Nicole. I had a wonderful conversation with a new colleague, a new friend yesterday, and we just had a really credible human conversation. And I reflect upon, we should share it, and I go back to this inspiring, turning rejections into personal wins is connecting with another human, right, and nudging each other out of their comfort zone, right,
Yeah.
and then celebrating, because even the small wins are awesome. Like taking the time to celebrate the small wins, right?
For sure. Yep. Those are huge because they add up, along the way. They kind of like help you know that you're going where you're supposed to be going and you can do hard things.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so which is a nice segue. So here's what I'm going to do for the break. I am going to throw Lulu. I think it is. Oh, maybe I don't have it up there. All right, so I thought I had it up there. No, let's do this. We'll throw some steam. Check this out.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Chris Martin here, aka C Marty Fit, whatever you want to call me. And real quickly, I just want to talk about why people struggle to get started, or why people struggle to hit their fitness goals. And one thing is, a lot of business professionals, parents, a lot of people with busy schedules don't realize that they already have the skill set to get in shape or get fit or hit their fitness goal, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, right? So we look at business, for instance, right? We hit quotas every month, we hit numbers, we set goals, and we hit them. A lot of y'all are killing it at work, right? And that there takes a level of mental toughness. That there takes a level of focus. It takes a level of discipline, a level of consistency, and a level of doing things when you don't feel like it. That's what's required in the gym too, to hit your fitness goals. That's a skill set that you've developed in your career, in your work life, and you don't even realize that you have what it takes to just translate that to fitness, right? And a lot of y'all that have that at work, y'all having it with family too. Work-life balance. I gotta set aside time for the kids. I gotta set aside time for the wife, for the husband, for my parents, for my siblings, for the family get-together, for the family cookout, whatever it is going on, right? You're not gonna let work get in the way of that. And if you do let work get in the way of that, at some point you're gonna fix it. You're gonna make that change. The same thing needed for fitness. Gotta set some time to work out, right? I gotta set some time to meal prep. I gotta set some time to go to that healthy restaurant. I gotta set some time to go get this gallon of water and finish it. So a lot of us have developed a skill set, but we just haven't applied it to fitness. And when you realize that, hey, I can do it, you just put it in another area, that's when you reach your fitness goal. So hopefully that tip helps someone jumpstart their fitness journey, or continue their fitness journey, or go harder in their fitness journey. And again, Chris Martin, C Marty Fit. Appreciate y'all listening. And anything you want to hear, anything you want to know about fitness, any fitness questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Appreciate you watching. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. I'm out of here.
All right, so there's the plan. We're going to, yes. So he's going to be creating like daily clips, bring some humor, bring some fun into the show, as well as weave himself in as he does along the way. I think we'll be back joining us tomorrow. So that is going to be a little fun segment with C Marty Fit. So, all right. So why don't you step away, get your coffee. I'm gonna get some water set up, and then I want to come back and let's talk. I'm going to run a what if video. It's going to be a fun one, right? We'll pick one to fun, and then we'll talk some what if scenarios and just kind of think about what if. What does that look like? Because I want to encourage Nicole Bernard. I want this segment for people to think about what if. And because you invited a completely different way to look at it that I wasn't thinking about. And that's what I love. And that drives good conversation, because it's contrarian, right? You're like, well, because I'm thinking about it this way. You're like, well, what if? I'm like, oh yeah, I never thought about it that way. Right. So let's step away for a minute. We'll come back and we're going to watch a what if video, a few minute video. We'll talk about what if, and then we'll spin it and talk about the other way around. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. We're going to do this right here. Boom, boom.
I almost became a dragon. I remember the day where I got the call to be on Dragon's Den, but not as a contestant, as a dragon. Truthfully, I thought it was a joke, so you know what I did? I told them to and I hung up. But you know what? They called me back. They said it was real, so I listened. They said, we want you to come out to Vancouver to audition. What was the catch? I needed to bring $500K in my own money. So 1 week later, I was on a plane to Vancouver. I remember the 9 a.m. roll call. We did hair and makeup. Then I met the other dragons, and then we sat in those iconic dragon chairs. We were pitched by hopefuls, just like the real show. Man, 2 hours flew by. I didn't get the spot. Vikram VJ did. Man, it was a 48-hour rush. From there, back, and I'd do it all over again. It was a near miss being a dragon. What was the moral? Just show up and enjoy the ride. Because you won't always get the gig, and you know what? It's perfectly fine.
Yeah. So what if? What if you got the call and what if you didn't get the gig?
What show is that? I've never heard of it. Is it like Shark Tank?
That's exactly like Shark Tank. Yeah. So in Canada and in Europe, it was called Dragon's Den. But in America, so I've read this somewhere. I will truthfully say that I don't know. I don't recall where I've read it. But it was a business marketing decision where the words shark and tank resonate better with the American public than a term like Dragon's Den.
Mm-hmm.
Right, dragons and den, more maybe medieval and Eastern and European thinking, reflective of those societies where sharks and you know, a more, I don't know, aggressive behavior.
Yeah. Well, you know, and like the Commonwealth has like knights and stuff. I can see the correlation to dragons. Yes,
that's exactly it. That's exactly right. You're exactly right. So, So, what if that happened to you? What if? So I got the call and I didn't get the gig. It was a fun experience. So I shared that just to kind of weave that in, just to kind of the whole conversation, because it's kind of the part. So the whole, you know, the theme of today in the lab is you know, enjoying the ride. You know, what if you don't get it? And you're talking about what if you do, or what if you don't do something, kind of thing. So, and then of course, last week we had our friend Steve Hulford, and I'm going to do this here. Let's go to.
So, how many years ago was that Dragon's Den, Keith? Like, yeah, I don't want to hear what you think your life would be like if you had made it. Like, would you be like Mark Cuban? Like,
yeah. It was so that whole experience was interesting because they constantly cast, because they never wanted the on-air personality to become bigger than the show.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the show is the show, not the person sitting in the seat. So if you want to go and say, you know, I want you to pay me $200,000 per episode, and you're like, no, I'm only paying you 20. Well, no, I'm worth 300. No, go somewhere else. We got Nicole Bernard waiting to sit in the seat. Right. So they always had people ready to go. They were always auditioning and so forth. So the year that I did go, a fellow named Vikram VJ took.
That's familiar.
So he's a chef, I believe. Vikram was here in Canada. I think was he a chef? Was it? Oh, I'm embarrassed that I don't. Vikram, when you do, or if you watch this, sorry, buddy. It was a really fun experience because it was unexpected, completely out of the blue. I didn't believe it at first, so I shunned the whole thing, and then when it did happen, I embraced it.
That's awesome.
It's great. It's great to do. It is great though to pose. What if I? Because originally, Nicole, I was like, nah. I told the person. I remember where I was in the house when and I was like, no, and I told him to politely. Well, actually, not really politely. I thought the whole thing was a joke. So my business partner called me originally and told me about it too, and I was like, nah, man. I was like, no, don't. He's like, no. So then the phone rang and he's like, all right. So then I listened. And it was, yeah. And then it happened real fast. Like, can you come out next week? I'm like, all right, let's do it.
That's cool. Did you still have ICUC at this point, or had you already sold?
So I had sold it. Yeah, I had. What was it? Yeah, yes, I had sold it. I was in the middle of my of it was in the process of selling it, and then I was transitioning to like the CEO management role of the business. So it was great. It was all the timing of it was wonderful because I really used I guess old school personal branding back in the day to build ICUC, and this was just another thing to talk about. Really, right? Because you needed content in the world in the early days of quote unquote user generated content when the only thing you were posting it on was Twitter.
Right, and it was actually Twitter.
Yes. Yeah. I remember some of those early social networks where there's just a few people here and there, right?
Yeah, MySpace. Like, remember when it was the Facebook? I don't know if you like in the US we had to have like a college email address.
Yes.
I remember coming home from class and my friend was like, "Oh, there's this cool thing." I'm like, "What? What is that?"
Oh, so you that's generational for you then, right? So you are part of that when it was the Facebook and you were in college, it was a desirable item for you.
Yep.
Very cool.
That had just rolled out, when I was still in college. So had my little lsu.edu email address attached to it.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. That's
pretty-
that yeah. That shows you how time works on the internets.
Yeah, I know it seems like archaic at this point, but
it does seem archaic at this point. Yes.
So when we had the farm, I had a reality show reached out to me like from LA, and they were like, "Hey, we're casting for farmers," and I was like, our daughter was like 2 or 3 at the time, and I was like, we go to bed at like 8 o'clock and we watch Little House on the Prairie. That I never really heard back from them. I was like, we're really not that interesting.
Yeah, but there's probably, the funny thing is that maybe there is, I don't know, is there something relatable in that experience, or is enough people going to say no, there's no drama involved, you guys got to make drama up to get people to tune in?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We probably would have had to make stuff up. It really wasn't that. Yeah, we're like, okay, we get up early, we work outside, we go to bed.
yeah. That's all right. That's okay. That's boredom breeds success as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I guess so.
Keeps you out of trouble, keeps the values in line, keeps everybody disciplined, keeps the hard work, as C. Marty Fitz said, right? We all have it within us. If you're running a successful business, there's no reason you really can't, find a way to successfully, more than likely take care of yourself, I hope and think.
Yeah. No, I love how he broke that down so easily, because even I was like, oh god, yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, because you just don't think to look at what you're already doing in different areas. So yeah.
It's true, isn't it? It's true. Okay, so I want to have some fun here. I want to throw something on the table here for us to kind of chew on in our theme of what if. So I'm going to play a game. Oh, you know what? Oh man, I thought about this. Came up yesterday, and it's coming up again today. It's funny because I've been taking all of our episodes and throwing it into Otter, and just so I can keep a database of conversations, searchable conversations. This is going to be helpful. I was talking to a guest yesterday, Nicole, who had so many different compartments to talk about. I was like, dude, I need like a spin the wheel where I, like in the real world, you'd have like spin the wheel and say, okay, talk about this. So I can go and go boom. Right. So in this situation, I'm going to present to you this question. What if you're going to pick? Okay. I want you to know. So you're going to, I want you to answer me one of these questions. We're going to go from here. All right. What if you fell into Niagara Falls? Don't answer yet. What if you only drank Coca-Cola?
Oh.
What if the world lost oxygen for 5 seconds? And what if you're swallowed by a whale?
Oh.
Which one do you want to converse about? Is it going to be Niagara Falls, falling into Niagara Falls? Is it only drinking Coca-Cola, or is it if the world lost oxygen for 5 seconds, or if you were swallowed by a whale? Something's lurking in the water.
I'm not a good swimmer, so I'm going to take out the two that relate to water. Let's go with Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Although I was more of a Dr. Pepper girl, but it's fine.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, let's do that. Let's have a quick little look at what if you drank only oh yeah, right. What if you only drank Coca-Cola? Let's just have a look at this shit.
Coca-Cola can do some pretty strange things. And the ingredients inside of it might be even more bizarre. Just imagine what it's doing inside your body after you drink it. Now let's take that one step further and imagine only drinking Coca-Cola for the rest of your life. What effects does Coca-Cola have on your body? What would this do to your teeth?
Oh.
And how bad would replacing water with Coke be? This is What If, and here's what would happen if you only drank Coca-Cola. Believe it or not, someone has done something like this before. A woman in Monaco stopped drinking water and only drank Coca-Cola for 16 years straight. Did she survive doing this to her body? And what would happen if you did the same? Doctors recommend that people should drink anywhere from 3 to 4 liters of water a day. So instead, we're going to replace that with Coca-Cola. A single can of Coke has 39 grams of sugar. To get your daily fluid intake, you'd need to drink over 8 cans of Coke each day. That's 312 grams of sugar. It would be like eating 6 chocolate bars. For reference, it's recommended that people consume less than 40 grams of sugar every day. So yeah, this would be a lot of extra sugar, not to mention the extra calories. Your Coke intake alone would be nearly an extra 8,000 calories a week. But that wouldn't be all the extra calories you'd consume. This sugary drink could also cause you to eat more as well. And with all these extra calories, it would lead to some serious weight gain. As you drank more Coke, tooth decay would also be a severe issue. Each sip of Coke would coat your teeth, tongue, and gums for hours after you finished your soda. Unless you stuck to an incredibly strict toothbrushing schedule, the sugars would slowly break down your enamel. This could eventually lead to your teeth completely rotting. And once you're done drinking your sodas for the day, expect to be going to the washroom a lot. The caffeine in Coca-Cola is a natural diuretic, meaning that you're going to be peeing a lot more. But the caffeine would be the least of your worries. One of the main ingredients you'd need to worry about is the high fructose corn syrup. That's because our bodies don't metabolize it, and this could lead to a fatty liver. Symptoms of a fatty liver include fatigue and pain in the upper right abdomen. As you continue to drink Coca-Cola, you would experience even more health issues. You might have frequent fainting spells and have a potassium deficiency. Due to all the sugar, caffeine, and other chemicals, you'd also experience problems with your heart rate. But the issues won't stop there. As time goes on, you'd also have a massive risk of getting type 2 diabetes and loads of vitamin deficiencies. And if all these issues continued and you decided to ignore them, you could develop proteinuria, which could then lead to kidney problems. And after years of only drinking Coke, you'd eventually be 600 pounds with a huge list of health issues. You'd take your final sips of Coca-Cola and then die due to a heart attack kidney failure, or other health-related issue. But it doesn't have to be like that. Remember the woman who drank Coca-Cola for 16 years? She had a lot of the same issues you had with fainting and weight gain, but after 16 years of only drinking Coke, she decided to stop. And her body bounced back to a relatively healthy state in a short period of time. So you might be able to do this for over a decade without experiencing any severe repercussions, but although drinking only Coke for a week, a month, or even a year wouldn't kill you, it doesn't mean you should do it. Another thing you shouldn't do? Jump out of an airplane without a parachute. But luckily, with our new show, How to Survive, we'll show you the perfect way to make sure you get out of it alive.
So that's from our friends at What If, Steve Hulford and friends there. So what if you only drank Coke for 5 days and no?
I feel weird even after just like watching that.
I was watching your facial expressions as it was happening, and I could clearly see that you were impressed. So, I because I've witnessed it. There are places, in North America. There's places in northern Manitoba where it is less expensive to buy cola products than it is to purchase bottled water or milk or other fluids, and that's what's sometimes unfortunate, right?
Yeah,
because it perpetuates what perhaps we watched, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know that. Do you think people know that it's that bad? And I mean, when it showed in the beginning too, I thought about that. I was like, oh yeah, like, have you ever seen, when people pour Coke on like car batteries to get like battery acid off? It's like, that's like eating away acid, and I want to put that in my body.
Yes. It is an interesting question that I guess sometimes we don't really we I think we ignore it, right? We do. We do a lot of things to ourselves that we absolutely ignore, because there's a lot of things that probably aren't good that we're putting in, and it collectively makes us ask the question, well, what if we just drank this over and over and over and whether it's acid or tar or right.
Yeah, it's true.
So that comes from our friends at What If. My goal here is to weave in a regular segment of what if discussions. I think that they're provocative. I think they're interesting. I think that they're fun. If you want fun to welcome conversation around. Speaking of, I'm going to call an audible here. So I want to have that I want to have with you, because I want to create some content around this and maybe create a discussion around it, is how much would you pay for a real human over an AI chatbot for customer service if you were posed with the question during your customer service experience? So this is as much a business question, right? That you throw it there for somebody considering building a business or who has a business. If we had to survey, anybody out there listening or curious, how much would you pay, Nicole Bernard? $1, $3, $5?
Because that got me thinking. Like, I grew up working at the Gap and like stuff like that. Like the whole customer service thing was really big. I grew up in retail, and just always trying to make like a great experience for people, and customer's always right type thing. Like, should we have to pay for that for a good customer experience?
Or is that a generational way of thinking? Allow me to present this to you. I only suggest that because are we not becoming conditioned, Nicole, to we're being asked to tip for everything. It's like giving everybody a gold medal, right? It's like, hey, tip me for making my submarine. when I go to Subway. No, but isn't that your job? And I'm not trying to be
I worked at Subway as well in college for 2 years. I never got tipped.
Right?
Maybe my sub sucked though. I don't know. No, but yeah, it wasn't part of it. I mean, we just showed up and did your job.
So we're always expected to tip.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So is it the same thing around what would you pay for your customer service experience?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm torn now because at first, like, I mean, I guess I'd pay like $1.
If it took you to the front of the line where within a minute you could talk to a human.
Yeah.
Maybe there's extreme value in that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, there is. I mean, it's like those Disney fast passes, right? I've never had one, but I hear, you get to cut the line and all that.
Yes.
To pay a little extra. So, yeah, I guess that's the way things were going. But old me wants to just be like customer service,
Maybe that's the new bar of customer service, where AI generated customer service is the new norm. Human customer service is an enhanced norm that you pay for. So we've just.
What would you pay?
What if we just called everything gold? What would I pay? I think about value of time. I think about how stressed out I get when I have to go through some of these IVR or bot experiences or experiences when you're calling the phone company or the whatever kind of company. Not phoning. I'm not. Yeah, I guess phoning or engaging with the customer service experience. I think I'd pay like, I don't know, $3, $5. I think I would. I think I would. I think that's like what can you buy for $3 or $5? So chocolate bar. So okay, so if let's just relate it back to Coke. Sorry, what if? Let's go back to, because I'm just thinking about well, let's just sort of listen to the table, right? It's still sitting here closed. I know we're going to wrap up here. But so this is $7.99. So what if I paid $8? Back to what if I paid $8 to make something that's going to make me feel pretty crappy? Well, I did it.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, do you think it depends on the situation? So for me, I'm thinking like I have to get on customer service with my kids have the watches, not phones, and it like I can feel it in my body. I already get annoyed. I'm just really mad and just pissed that I have to like get on there for their customer service. So yes, that, which then makes me even more mad that I'd have to pay to get to the front of the line, but I would because I want to get it over with. But if it was something else that was like not as, high priority, I would probably go for like $1 or nothing, or be like, oh, whatever, I'll just put it on in the background. So for me, I think it might depend on the situation.
Interesting. So then you wonder, is it part of the onboarding and experience? So when you become a customer, it's as much now that I'm a member, not just a customer, it's not just transactional. You take care when you onboard me, and when I need customer service, I'll pay for it. But yeah, it's an interesting question. How much would you pay? And how much would you pay and would you not pay?
Yeah,
so,
no, it'd be interesting.
I'm going to set up a poll. Yeah, we can do a LinkedIn poll. So I'll set up a LinkedIn poll. I'll see if we can attach this media to it. If not, I'll see if we can kind of create a pillar of discussion around this topic. How much would you pay for personal chatbots, personal service over AI chatbot service? And I'll link back to this article as well.
Yeah, I love it.
Cool. Okay. All right, Rest and Recovery Wednesday for me. It's the yearning of the end of the hockey season as well, and I got to catch up on a bunch of stuff today, which I'm excited about. Which probably means coming across your desk too somewhere along the way. Awesome. All right, you're good too.
Yeah, today's Long Run Wednesdays.
So. Oh yeah, how long is it?
Between 10 to 13. I don't know, depending on how I feel when I get out there.
Oh, 10 to 13 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to go for a good, almost a couple hours, right? A couple hours. Yeah.
Almost. Yeah.
Oh, good for you. That's awesome. Good for you. Yeah. I'm going to think a lot of elevation with that too.
Yes and no. I think I might run down to the river, which means I have to come back up. But
Yes.
it's not crazy. So
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about your running habits because we were talking with Lauren about it, and your running habits would mostly be not flat though, Nicole Bernard.
no, actually, where I'm at, it's pretty flat because I'm in what we call the heights where I'm at, so I can look down at the river. So it's actually
Oh, I
kind of.
see. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, in a few weeks, I'm gonna do a race that's like 4,000 feet elevation gain. So that's gonna be rough.
Well,
But
that's fun.
yeah,
That's fun.
but it ends at a brewery, so I just run to the brewery. I go up
Oh,
and then down to the brewery.
excellent. And then if you're looking for a pint, there's one waiting for you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I'll run by our old farm. It's
Oh,
in a
fun.
town like it's 20 minutes from here. And you go up and over a ridge. It's called the Ridge Run. So it's a good
Yeah.
10 miler with a lot of elevation gain. So that'll be a good kind of check like milestone, I guess, leading up to the ultra.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, we want to catch up about that tomorrow and Friday. In our Audacious Goal Fridays, we didn't spend much time talking about it last Friday at all, but we're going to bring it on the table this Friday coming up. Awesome. Listen, let's rock and roll. Are you heading out to do your run right now?
No, I'm not.
No.
I won't have enough time before school starts. So
Oh, you
I'm
got the
gonna
kids
go.
stuff, right? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, let you get out of there, take care of those obligations, and I'll talk to you along the way, kiddo.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Nicole.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, bye-bye.